Alright, welcome. Right now I'm going to be looking at how this new hero loadout system works and how you will make it work for you. So at the very start, what we got here is a complete rework of how heroes work. Heroes used to be you pick a main, a secondary, and a what they called tactical. So the main would be the thing that dictated what class abilities you had. So if you're using an Outlander, you would have things like Teddy, Anti-Material Charge, Seismic Smash, you would have your Shock Tower, you would have a combination of those. So that is retained, but that is about the only thing that's retained from the old system. The way it now works is those perks that you used to have are now given to us via different characters, and we fill them all in. So basically you can think of the old system as being a preset hero build system, and now we've got the editable hero build system. So to start off, I'll just explain each one of these little menus. It does look quite confusing and overwhelming. You're gonna at times, mess up and not have things quite the way they are, or not have any idea what to use in that slot. That's fine. It's going to take a bit of feel to get things working, just like when you get your first gun, you get your first explosive, cannon or whatever, the Jabberwocky, for example. You don't know what to do with it, right? It takes a little while. You watch some videos, you watch some people play with it, you play with it yourself a little bit, and then you work it out. So that's how this is going to work as well. So very first off, we're going to look at the commander. This is the main thing that you're going to be worried about. Why? Because it dictates what abilities you have, and it sort of is the very basis of your build, right? So we're going to look at Enforcer Grizzly. Enforcer Grizzly here has Teddy, Seismic Smash, and Phase Shift. You may be wondering where his Anti-Material Charge is. Anti-Material Charge got moved to the heavy attack of the pickaxe, which is kind of cool because it does mean Outlanders get a whole extra ability. Every single Outlander that had Anti-Material Charge. Constructor had a similar change where Constructor's base is now moved to the Trap Wheel. You got to make sure you can access the Trap Wheel, especially if you're on PC. You're going to have to rebind your Trap Wheel. So now that we understand that Anti-Material Charge hasn't been randomly disappeared and that we've got to build a hero, we can start sort of gauging what we want to be doing here. So right now, if we go in here, we're going to make a decision. Do we want to play offensive, defensively? Are we looking for a class that's going to support your weapons, support your playstyle, support the objective? All these questions are going to have to be answered. Now don't worry, you do have multiple different loadouts depending on your level and progression within the campaign. You unlock more loadout slots to a maximum of right now of 5. They will most likely probably give us more in the future as we get more comfortable with the system, but for now we've started with 5, so that's enough for one of each character. I've lost my words here. For each of the different classes, that's the one I was looking for. So each of different classes, so you can have a ninja, you can have a constructor, you can have an outlander, and you can have a soldier. So normally the way you would think of this as a soldier is the weapon damage, constructors are the defensive, outlanders are the farmer ability, gun users. They're a bit of everything. And then you have your ninjas, which are kind of like your abilities and high mobility. That in essence is still here, but it is way more blurry between the lines of different roles because now we can actually completely build what our characters are going to be, with the exception of abilities. Abilities are still on the different classes, so you can't have a soldier that can teleport with Phase Shift. You can't have a constructor that can throw grenades. That'd be cool, but maybe a little bit too crazy. So we are still limited to the abilities of the class, but all these different bonuses we can get. Now, when it comes to selecting the commander, it's going to be, like I said a little bit earlier, the basis of your build. That is because your commander selection will give you a perk, but it will be what they're calling a perk plus. It will be a special, more powerful variant of the perk. So I've selected Grizzly here because he's a nice easy example that most people will know. Enforcer Grizzly is a Teddy character. He's really good with Teddies, right? Now, he still is good with Teddies. He still has his Teddy, and he gets this duration bonus. If we look at him down here, We're going to select the Outlanders and we're going to go find him. I've selected a ninja, so he's not now showing up. That's something to keep in mind. You will only see the perks that you can use. So he disappeared because it's going to disappear again because this is a shock tower, not a teddy. So I need to select something. Here we go. This guy has a teddy. Now if we go over here, we see 4 seconds increased duration of teddy, right? So that's the perk he adds. This is his thing. He makes teddy last longer. But when you put him in your main slot, he actually lasts even longer again. That's 4 seconds now to 12 seconds. So your main commander character, the one you can control, the one you look like, the skin you wear, that will dictate the basis of the build. So right here, we've selected this guy. It means he's probably going to be using a lot of teddies. So we want to kind of maybe build towards that, right? But there's a lot of flair and there's a lot of room for your playstyle. If you only want a long-lasting teddy but you want to use guns all the time, then you can build that. This is all now very, very open to your personal playstyle, the way you want to do this. There is not going to be a wrong way to do this. There is not going to be a wrong build. There's not going to be a, like, you are completely open and free to experiment any way you want. It's a very, very open-ended system. Now, that's not to say that you might, you know, not have the most min-maxed character. You don't necessarily need that. As long as you're able to pass your missions, you're getting your rewards, you're having fun with the game. Does it really matter if you're using the quote-unquote min-max, the meta, the best? Well, some people it does. And it's always fun to have the best character because you can kill the most things. But that is something to more worry about later, when you're in more difficult content. Right now, if you're playing around your power level, you're a little bit freer to use whatever you want. So we're going to try and build towards your playstyle. So with that in mind, we now know what the commander does, which is a bonus plus perk. That's what they're calling them, perk plus. And then we know the support team is giving us all different perks. Now the team perk is a new thing. Now this is a little bit confusing but very, very important. First off, you're going to want to pick this before you pick your perks, your other characters in your support slots. You're going to want to pick this. Why? Because you actually have criteria to fill within using these to get the bonus, right? So we're going to look at one here. Hotspot's a good one, actually. So weapon eliminations increase weapon damage, right? By 13% for 15 seconds. Each weapon and blah, blah, blah. But it does require one of each class. So you need to run a soldier, an outlander, constructor, and a ninja in your support team to get that bonus. So if you are looking at building a teddy user, all the teddy buffs are going to come from outlanders because outlanders are the ones that have teddies. This is the way it works. The perks stay within the classes. The ability perks stay within the classes, right? So this is not going to be a great one if you're looking to build a teddy orientated character. Not to say that that's wrong to use hot swap with Enforcer, but if you do want the full use of teddy and that is what you're wanting to use and play towards, you're not going to want this perk. So we're going to be looking through some other ones. We're probably going to be keeping our eye on, for this particular build, something that needs outlanders, because we can fulfill that very easily. And here it is, Phase Blaster. This is actually quite an interesting one. You guys might remember that that one of the Rio classes, the Pistol Rio character, she used to actually have the Phase Blast on her gun, but she no longer does. And if we go find her, there she is. Oops. How do I undo it? Sorry, I am still myself getting used to this system. This is very, very new, very, very interesting. Oh, she still does have phase cannon. That's very interesting. So there's a build there for you. You can stack phase. There we go. So Phase Blaster is still on your Rio over here. You can still get it. You can still get it, but you can also get it from the team perk. So there is a little bit of overlap between some of the perks like that. So I wouldn't worry too much about that example in particular, but we select it, then it's going to come up that we need 2 more Outlanders to get that. So that's why that's second to the support team, is because you want to make sure you know what you're going to be using. Now, if you're wondering why you only see a couple, and I have a whole bunch, it's because you unlock these when you first get a mythic hero. So this doesn't actually require the mythic hero. This is an extra thing you can add on. You don't need the mythic hero in your squad to get the ability to use this, but you do need to have at least had the mythic hero in your hero consignment to unlock it. So you don't actually need it either. You could have scrapped it, which really, please do not scrap mythics. Do not scrap anything at this point. You should be trying to keep all the heroes now. They're all actually useful. But just say you scrapped and you got rid of him, you put him in your collection book, you'll keep the perks. So you don't have to worry about actually having him around and leveled up and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so now onto the support team. So the support team is going to be what your builds up the rest of your kit. Here you can get your pistol damages, assault rifle, sniper rifle, rocket launchers. You can increase Teddy, shock tower, grenades, base. You can do everything you possibly can think of. There is a couple things that are missing in this new system that were in the old system, perks. For example, Teddy no longer has a perk. I can't exactly remember what it's called, but it adds snare. So it makes minions move slower. That is unfortunately no longer here. Now that's not to say that it won't always be missing. They might just add it back, right? We got 8 new heroes with this update, so we know they're going to be adding new heroes and new abilities, and maybe some of the old ones will come back, maybe things will get changed. But at the moment there might be a couple things that are missing, so do keep that in mind. Other things to note about your support team is that each one of these people are putting 8% towards your stats, so mainly your health and shield. So if you can help it, you always want to be using the 130s, the 82s, the 106s, whatever your power level is and whatever you can get them up to, you want to get them as high as possible to give you the most health and shield. Now, I say that because you only actually need them on 2 or 3 star to unlock the full potential of the abilities. Now, if we scroll down all the way down here, we'll see some of these things are at a much weaker stage. Some of them aren't. Some of them can even be 1 star. Some of them need to be 2. Some of them need to be 3 star. It just depends on what you're looking at, right? Just depends what you're looking for and what you're looking at. So sometimes you might want them on 82, which is why I've got a couple 82s here, just to fully unlock the perk. Sometimes you want them at power level 1 if you want the actual perk, but you should always strive to get them as high level as possible because it will increase your HP, your shields, and allow you to be more effective in battle. So I think that's covering most of the bulk of everything. I'll just check my notes here to make sure I haven't missed anything. Like I said, this is a very new system, very open to your playstyle, and it is a bit complicated. Yeah, no, that's about everything. So the only things that I would say in closing is to make sure that you have a lot of different heroes to work with. So whenever possible, be keeping heroes that you're unlocking, even if they are lower rarity. Right now, I know most of us should have at least 3 or 4 vouchers to unlock from. I would really recommend you holding on to those until you're really, really sure of what you want to get. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, because this is way in the future, when this update dropped, we all got a couple vouchers to get old event heroes and stuff. So right now I know a lot of people were like, oh, heavy base, heavy base. I would really, really hold on to them to know exactly what you want to get. So in the meantime, I would be trying to just work off what you do have. Keep in mind you did also, again, this is for people who have just got the update, you did get enough resources to go into the collection book and start pulling some things out. I will start making some videos now over the course of the next few weeks, explaining some more of this stuff in detail, but more looking at builds. So if you're not sure where to take your builds and you want some inspiration, or you want to know what some of the more meta min-max amazing, powerful, best builds are. I'll definitely be working on those for you guys, as well as trying some new fun things out, some speed builds, the farm builds, some meme builds. You know, we're going to be having a bit of fun with this new system, and it's at the last sort of closing comment. That's what this system is. It is a lot of fun. It is absolutely fabulous. You can make the characters, the heroes, the gameplay how you want. Alright, well, if you do have any other questions, make sure you pop them in the comments. I'll try and answer any questions that are around that need a bit of help with. Otherwise, also check out my stream, which is just Sylon. You can find us Twitch TV/Sylon. Otherwise, there's also Discords. There's the official Discord. I've got a Discord as well, so you can join my Discord. The invite code is Sylon there as well. Otherwise, yeah, I think that sort of covers everything. So, happy grinding, and good luck with your builds. Enjoy.